From South Africa is the referee for this encounter. Kenya, well, they've certainly upped their game in recent weeks. They claimed their first points of the season in Wellington, led by Humphrey Kayenge. But Uruguay, well, they'll have gained some confidence from those two tries they scored against Wales earlier on this afternoon. It's a little cooler for this match than the final match for both these teams at the pool stage. Uruguay kick off, and Kenya back in their traditional lovely red shirts with a little black motif as well. Collins Injera, and the huge roar goes up from the supporters each time Injera gets the ball in his hands. Here's his brother Humphrey Kayenge, nudged forward there by Gibson Weru.
Unlucky off the hand of the Kenyan there. Collins Injera coming down the sideline and showing some real power as well as pace.
Yeah, the Kenyans, they've added a bit of beef in recent years, which has meant that they've now defeated all the major nations in the HSBC Sevens World Series in turn. New Zealand and Fiji and South Africa as well, so they fear no one. To the Kenyans, they've got a fair amount of skill as well.
Yeah, we saw this from Uruguay last game. They kicked the possession away to Wales 3 times, and here they've done it to Kenya.
Lavina Sengo, top point scorer, and that's a wild pass from the man recalled back into the squad for this tournament. Andrew Amonde, getting 3 for Kenya. It's all a bit untidy at the moment. Collins Injera, did he just about keep the ball in play? No, he didn't.
Well, Kenya will need to keep the momentum going. If they win this game, they're going to face England in the first quarterfinal of the night. They'll need to, they want to put on a good performance here.
So an injury to a player from Uruguay. I think it's Federico Favaro. He's back on his feet and running back to his spot on the far outside. So Los Terros, Uruguay, runners-up in the South American Championships last weekend. They'll be back at Las Vegas next year as a consequence. The more pressing matters to hand at the moment, because Kenya are on the charge through Collins Injera. Reached that milestone of 100 tries against New Zealand earlier on today. 4 tries to his name already on the first day of competition here at the Sam Boyd Stadium. Lovely skills, lovely interpassing, and that's the curse of every commentator. No sooner has he commended a team than they slip up and cough up possession. Uruguay has that long kick downfield into the wide open spaces. Tracking back is the Kenyan number 7, Biko. And there's Biko Adima.
Yeah, they'll be happy to slow things down here. It's going to be difficult for Uruguay to keep pace with the Kenyans today. Really unfortunate there from Collins Injera. He broke about 4 tackles, did all the work to get down to the 10-meter line, and unfortunately his teammates spilled the ball forward.
Uruguay, they missed 4 tackles, but Kenya have been able to take advantage. 3 minutes into the first half, almost an interception there by Al Para, but that's given the Kenyans an opportunity down the far side. Big Oscar Uma, the youngster, stepping up this season into the full Sevens squad. Biko Adima, the man from the Nondies RFC, back in the team for Wellington last weekend after some examinations, a stern examination here of the Uruguayans, as Humphrey Kayenge adds another try to his total. Much to the delight of the hundreds of Kenyan supporters in the crowd, and they seem to be growing by the minute. Humphrey Kayenge, the captain, the man they call tall, gets his first try of the weekend, and that's his 91st in his career.
Yeah, great team try. Here we go, the ball gets passed out wide. Kayenge takes it. Look at that long stride. He just looks like he's jogging, Win.
It's a deceptive loping run that he has, isn't it, Humphrey Kayenge? Made his debut in Dubai back in 2004, and he was the nominated for the IRB Sevens Player of the Year 2 seasons ago. Collins Injera, that he is, standing proud, 100 tries. His brother Humphrey Kenge now on 91. That's a huge contribution to the Kenyan effort over the years. Kenya 7, Uruguay 0, but that's going to change in the second as Collins Injera steps out for a second try round under the sticks. No sooner has his brother scored a try, and as he looks to be closing that gap, and Collins Injera steps it up once more and adds another try to his very, very impressive tally.
Well, he's an enterprising young man here. You know, we saw a try against New Zealand where he was able to knock the ball out of the hand of the Kiwi scrum half, pick it up and go in, and here we see him right off the loose ball, dots it down and end the cradle.
Yeah, this is what Kenya have been missing this season. The pace, the penetration of Collins Injera.
It's true love, Win.
And certainly he's got a close affinity with that peculiarly shaped ball that he's cradling in his arms. Smiles all round them in the Kenyan camp. Kenya 14, Uruguay 0, a minute and a half remaining of this first half. Uruguay finding it very difficult to get their hands on the ball. Eight newcomers in this Uruguay side.
Kenyans are always dangerous in the scrum. They've got very long legs there and very capable of stealing that ball back on the pudding. And there they go.
Well, yeah, 2009, I was just going to say, it was the breakthrough year for Kenya, but yet in San Diego in 2009, Uruguay defeated Kenya on the first day of competition in San Diego. Good transference of ball through the hands. Kenya, relentless pressure being applied on the Uruguayan defense here. Good angle of running once again. It's that man, Collins Injera, over for a second try, and Kenya's third just before the break. He just loves scoring tries, does Collins Injera.
Well, Winnie's got so much pace through the gap. He's got a set of shiny boots of his own, and there he goes, showing him through the hole. Well, a very familiar scene there.
Indeed it is, and if anyone is going to challenge the hegemony of Ben Gollings, then it's this man. Is just 24 years of age, is 6 years younger than Ben Gollings. He's got a few more years and a few more tries surely to come again, as Collins Injera getting the congratulations there of colleague Biko Atima.
It is gone.
So we arrive at half-time. 3 tries for Kenya, 2 conversions, 21 points to 0. It looks very comfortable for Kenya at half-time.
Well, Uruguay's going to have to regroup during this halftime. Take a breather, try to get something positive going in the second half, hold on to the ball.
Luis Pedro Achard is their coach, a 38-year-old. They did regroup after the team talk, after the huddle at half-time against Wales. They scored 2 good tries and asked questions of the Welsh defence. Wonder whether they can do the same. They just love this team, don't they, those supporters? What do you call it, Little Nairobi?
Well, there's Little Nairobi across the stadium from us, and the Kenyans are here to party and support their team. It's wonderful to see.
Certainly making that section of the grandstand across the pitch there their own. And they've had some lovely tries as well as a reward, and most of them from Collins Injera. He scored 2 tries in every game so far. Against New Zealand, against Wales, and now against Uruguay.
Well, Win, there's several thousand Kenyans in this area, and I think they've all showed up to support their team.
They certainly have. And they'll be back here later on again as Kenya look good for a place in the Cup quarterfinals for the first time this season. Stuart Berry waiting for the sign to get on with the game. There is the hooter. So 21 points to nil. That's Kenya's advantage at the break. Can Uruguay claw a try back early on, which will give them some hope? They have possession inside their own 22. They look comfortable with ball in the hand, but the times they've had possession, well, it's been pretty scarce, pretty minimal, really. Alejo Para.
Well, if you're Uruguay, you have to figure out how you're going to get around Collins Injera or Humphrey Kayangi.
And away, Red.
Very difficult task. And now with the extra beef that their forwards have added, it's difficult to go through them as well.
Just talking about the curse of commentators, and it may be that Felipe Berchesi has found a way through, but good defensive work by the replacement Leon Adongo. And Uruguay can certainly match the Kenyans in terms of physicality. It's the finer points of the game that they lack. And a lack of experience perhaps at the highest level. Para. The offload to
no hands,
Martinez.
That's fine, there's no ruck.
And the Kenyans, they've grown to be quite expert at that contact area where they are quite adept at stealing opposition ball.
Well, there's a confident little smile on the face of the Kenyans here. And you'd have to imagine that England are watching this game with a wary eye.
They must surely be success breeds success, and the Kenyans have had some success over the years.
Let's go.
Got to the Cup final in Adelaide in 2009. Breakthrough year, as I say, was that year, 2009. They beat South Africa, Fiji, then New Zealand for the first time in San Diego. But they slipped to 8th in the IRB Tour last season. Here come Uruguay now then. Looks promising here, more promising than it has been so far in this match. Number 9, well, Guillermo Lijstenstein didn't back himself for pace. If he pinned back his ears, then Uruguay might well have had a score. But they've transgressed, and away come the Kenyans. Collins Injera initially leaves it for Humphrey Kayange. And a mistake out wide surely by Leon Adongo. No play on, says referee Stuart Berry. Didn't go forward. Injera digs it out for Humphrey Kayange. Not the best of passes. Biko Adima now on halfway. Looking to stretch the Uruguayan defense. There's a big hole, a big gap as well for Lavina Sango. And guess who is going to get his hat-trick here? It's that man, Collins Injera, takes it right to the dead ball line. And the crowd in raptures once again, greeting that third try from Collins Injera.
Beautiful team try. If you go all the way back, Uruguay had done the work, and Lijstenstein couldn't back himself, coughs the ball up, and here came Kenya into the hands of Collins Injera. Great pass there, and you're not going to stop that man.
Yeah, they say he even walks with a bounce, does Collins Injera.
He's provided a much-needed spark for these guys, but he's also surrounded by some very able players that have been brought in just recently. A lot of changes from the squad that participated in Dubai and George. But the heart is back, and that's Collins Injera.
Yeah, the player of the year in Kenya in 2010. A late starter in rugby, by the way, Brian. At 22 years of age.
It's a maul. Leave Red.
Santiago Gibernau. Martinez rather digging it out for Berchesi. Isolated for a second there, and that's just exactly what I was saying earlier on. The Kenyans quite adept at contesting the tackle area. Not quite
no advantage.
Getting it back on that occasion. The player falling off his feet.
Well, when you have as much speed as Kenya, you can afford the luxury of sending one man up to try to break into the line, because you know that that your defense is going to fall back and cover. Most teams can't do that because they don't have enough speed. the more speed you have, the more adventurous you can be on defense, and the more chances you can take.
Thanks, Brian.
So Uruguay opting for the kick to touch.
Great over.
Confident that they can
Great.
win the line out to claim the restart. 2 minutes remaining. Kenya 28 points to nil now to the good. Kenya not contesting the line out. Quite happy to put in the tackles. It's a big hit coming in from Biko Adima. Another one back in the team after some examinations at the university where he is studying. Sebastian Coelho.
On your feet.
It may have been the long hair that suggested that he was faster than possibly he is.
Number 4.
Well, again, Uruguay on the attack, but can't hold on to the ball in the contact area, and here goes Kenya.
Yeah, Uruguay's best ever result at the USA Sevens was the bowl semi-finals in 2005.
He's run 5.
Chance perhaps here now then for
I can't see him
Felipe
forward.
Berchesi. Juan de Freitas.
They've got the ball back, and if they could score a try, the crowd would really get behind them.
Almost Sonia, yet so far
He's run 5 meters already.
for Agustín Ormaechea.
When he runs 5 meters.
If that name rings a bell, well, his father was Diego Ormaechea, captain of Uruguay in past years.
Crouch.
Last few seconds then.
Touch.
Can Uruguay get a consolation score in the half a minute or so that remain? Looking to outmuscle Kenya in the scrum. Kenya from behind their own try line. They'll have a go. Quite adventurous even from that distance, and no one more so than Collins Injera. A hat-trick to his name already. That's holding on to the ball in the tackle.
Last chance for Uruguay here.
Everybody will want to score here now, that's for sure. Juan de Freitas takes it in. Out it comes then Echeverri. A change of direction, but isolated is Berchesi. Standing up, Biko Adima in the tackle. Has to go to ground if Uruguay are to retain possession, but there we are. Kenya battling away. Illegally done, so says referee Stuart Berry. Hooter has blown.
And still another chance.
Just one last chance, the last throw of the dice, as they say here in Sin City. Will the dice be loaded in favour of Uruguay? Right at the death here. A little chip through. The try has come for Federico Favaro right at the death. It's a consolation score, and scant reward perhaps for all their effort they have put in against the Kenyans, but the Kenyans certainly have looked good, and then more so than Collins Injera. But a little chip and a touch perhaps from a Kenyan player.
Beautiful little chip. He gets a little help actually there from Aouma, who tips the ball back into his hands, and Uruguay is rewarded. You'd never want to leave the field having been the victim of a shutout, and there Uruguay gets one for their effort. Well done.
But the Kenyan victory never looked in doubt, really. Humphrey Kayengo the first, scoring a hat-trick of tries for Collins Injera. Kenya march on to the Cup quarter-finals for the first time this season. And the final score then, which reads Kenya 28, Uruguay 7.